We muted here, right? Yeah. Trey, after the anthem, we'll just go live with an open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Direct your attention to the flag in the east end zone as we honor America by the playing of the national anthem by the Wakeland School High School Band under the direction of Mr. Riley Guidry.
Good job, miss.
The return of Texas high school football begins tonight across the Lone Star State. And from Frisco's Kirkendall
Stadium, the Grapevine Mustangs begin the 2024 season with a road test against the Wakeland Wolverines. And hello, everybody. Alongside Brendan Smith, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. 87 degrees here tonight in Frisco. Both these teams made the playoffs last year. Grapevine reached the bi-district round of the Class 5A Division II bracket. Wakeland went 2 rounds deep in 5A Division I. And Brendan, for Bob DeBess, head coach in his second season for Grapevine, hoping to build off last year's run.
Yeah, you just look at the surface and you see that 6-5 record, but what a finish it was to the year for the Mustangs. As they go 6-1 down the stretch in district, their only blemish, that loss to Colleyville Heritage, but they get into the playoffs, a 10th straight season, and like you mentioned, trying to build upon that. Got quite a bit that they have to replace, 14 all-district performers. They're ready to get going here on a Thursday night to kick off the season.
Now, Carlos McKay and Linnell Randolph are back deep to receive for the Mustangs. And for Wakeland, it'll be Jack Minsky, an all-district kicker, who will tee it up from the 40-yard line. Grapevine 6-5 last year, Wakeland 9-2. Both teams had to replace a lot of firepower, most specifically at the quarterback position, and we'll see here in a moment Jalen Holmes, the signal caller for Grapevine. We're underway on a Thursday night in Frisco as this line drive kick is away from McKay, and he'll let it spin back to the end zone, and Grapevine will have it first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Let's take a look at this Grapevine offense, the big guys up front, an offense that averaged 288 yards per game last year, 29 points. It all starts with the offensive line. Taden Sneed is the left tackle at 6'2", 230 pounds, just a young sophomore. Opposite of him is Daniel Campos, who is an all-district performer at 6'1", 285. The guards Bergen Weir, 6'1", 310-pound senior, and Spencer Williams at 6 foot, 300 pounds, a senior. And then Will Mason is the center, a 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. Here's Jalen Holmes on a first down and 10 out of a two-back set, also with an H-back there in that formation, and a long count here from Holmes. A three-man front defensively for Wakeland. They'll go to the ground and stacked up at the line. Not much there off that left side on the inside handoff. And the give, Grapevine, was to Julian Contreras. The rest of that offense for the Mustangs, Rylan Goen, Kel Thompson, and Christian Friedrich are the wide receivers. And then the quarterback, Jalen Holmes, he's making his first start tonight, is a junior. He takes over for Harrison Hackbarth, who was an all-district quarterback. And then Julian Contreras, you saw on first down as a running back. DJ Wright tonight gets the start. You'll see him as the tight end and the H-back. On a second down, now at a long 10 here for Grapevine. Holmes on a play action, his first pass. And getting outside is McKay. He's got a pickup of close to 4 to the 30.
Yeah, McKay, nice play there. He got the block outside from Blake Landry. And this is an offense that's really going to try and control the clock. They're going to see a lot of it pounding up the middle. There they go, play action, that quick pass to the outside, and at least sets up a manageable third down.
I say McKay, it was Dallas Davis on that reception. Got a 3rd down and 6. One thing Bob DeBest wants to do tonight is work the clock, and already both the first 2 plays for Grapevine took quite a bit of time, and you've got right now the play clock just down inside of 10.
Yeah, very obvious what he's trying to do here and slowing down the pace and letting that clock almost get all the way down to 0.
3rd and long. It's to the ground. Contreras, not much there. It'll be a 3 and out for Grapevine on their first possession.
Yeah, 3rd and 6, and they elect not to take a shot there to try and get anything to happen on 4th down, run the ball up the middle. And so this is a really aggressive Wakeland defense, and they were able to handle the one pass, handle a couple runs up the middle, and force the 3 and out.
Holmes, the quarterback, will back up to punt. Noah Connerly lurks deep for Wakeland back at his own 30. They bring some pressure, and Holmes gets away a great kick here. Taken and lost the football. Grapevine's got it, and there's the first mistake of the night in the kicking game. Grapevine's got the football in Wakeland territory down inside the 40. It was Contreras who came up with the fumble.
Boy, how huge is that, especially after that quick 3 and out. You know, Coach DeBest talked about one of his keys to the game is that hidden yardage and what happens when the special teams are on the field. And your first opportunity, you're able to fall on a muffed punt, put yourself immediately in opponent territory. If you're Grapevine, you got to take advantage of this. Put some points on the board here in what's really a gift second drive.
Yeah, this will actually be at the 42 of Wakeland. So a second chance opportunity here. Holmes with receivers to either side out of a 2-back set and a 3-man defensive front for the Wolverines. Holmes to throw. Now rolls to his right. Scampers out of bounds. Maybe picks up 1, possibly 2. They'll mark him out. They'll say it's 1 at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, first true drop back there for Holmes, and kind of an extension of the running game. Just escapes and picks up a couple of yards. Yet to see Grapevine really take that shot, even when it comes to the passing game. Their only pass was about a yard out in front of the line of scrimmage. It's
a Wakeland defense that starts 5 seniors and 6 juniors. It is a veteran defense. They gave up 21 points per game last year. Under the direction of defensive coordinator Mark Oglesby. Now it's 2nd down and 9. Holmes, long count, play clock down to 5. Give us to Contreras. He's got room off the right side. Contreras a 1st down and more. Steps out maybe at the 22.
Yeah, moves it through that right side. That's Spencer Williams, Daniel Campos, who have created a little bit of space there up front. Nice crease. Finds his way to the outside. First down here for the Mustangs.
Contreras had some big shoes to fill. Graduated 1,000-yard rusher in Divine. And Contreras is a senior at 5'8", 185 pounds. You'll see him and Jamie Sanchez tonight in the backfield. Out of the eye in the pistol. Holmes again with the play clock at 4. Option coming this direction. Contreras cuts it up. He is hammered at the 23. And on the stop for Wakeland. First guy there to arrive was Cedric Thornton.
And Tristan Lawyer got there as well and provided some pretty heavy contact. A lot of motion. It's really going to be interesting early on in the year to see what type of motion that this Grapevine offense that they're going to go with. The H-backs, couple backs in the backfield. Really putting a lot on the shoulders of a guy in Holmes who's making his first start.
2nd down and 8. Grapevine 3 and out in their first possession, then forced the turnover on the punt. They've got the football back. They're deep in Wakeland territory with 8.5 minutes to go in the first. Contreras tries the left side. He rumbles forward. Tough earned yardage. Contreras continues to rumble down to the 10-yard line. What a run by the senior.
You're getting a heavy dose, number 23 right now. And I had looked down. I was thinking that he was stopped, but yeah, he just never gave up on the play, kept those feet moving. And this is a really promising drive after the quick 3 and out. At least putting yourself in position where you're going to come up with at minimum 3 points.
1st down and 10. Be a 1st and goal here for Grapevine. That football right at the 10-yard line. Holmes in a 2-back set with an H-back left in DJ Wright. The give is off that left tackle and a lot of push from the big bodies. Bergen, Weir, Taden, Sneed, Will Mason moving the pile. And he stopped at the 7. Be a 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line.
Feels like they've had more success running to the right side. That's where the big run with Contreras popped off. Having a little bit of trouble right now, trying to figure out who's supposed to be in, getting the right personnel into the ballgame. They'll reset the play clock.
Yeah, Jamie Sanchez comes out, Contreras back onto the field. Boy, this is exactly what Bob DeBest wanted. Control the clock. Is 7.5 minutes to go here in the first. They've nearly chewed up half of the first quarter.
Yeah, needed a little bit of help to do it, but yeah, he's really happy with the end result right now.
Contreras to the right of Holmes on the 2nd down and goal. Again on the ground. Contreras bounces outside. He's down inside the 5. Tackled there. Taken down from behind by Daniel Jelinek, the outside linebacker.
Oh, he made that first man miss, and you thought for a second that he was going to have a chance to take that to the house. You see him right there, able to get around. I believe that was Christian Guevara, and taking that one inside the 5-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 4. Stay with a 1-back look here with the H-back to the right. That is Tatum Evans. You'll see him on both sides of the football tonight. Linebacker, now the H-back right. Contreras again, that right side. He's down to about the 3, and now decision time for Bob DeBest with 6:35 to go in the first. A 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you don't want to get this far and obviously come up empty, but if you're DeBest in this instance and you're talking about controlling the clock, and as you mentioned, you've already taken down half of the quarter, three's going to feel like a missed opportunity. This may be 4-down territory here. Excuse me. Yeah, they're going to bring out the field goal unit. In my mind, I guess I was thinking 3rd down, but yeah, you're right, 4th down.
Bob DeBest at the last minute brings on Cade Moreland, right-footed sophomore kicker. Straight shot from 17 yards. Strong leg. Our first look at Moreland, and he gives Grapevine the first points here of 2024. Well, it started with a turnover. Grapevine turns it into 3, and the Mustangs have a 3-0 lead. And so, look at this Mustang defense for the first time, but boy, you go back to how this started. 3 and out in the first drive, but the turnover leads to the first points tonight.
Yeah, we had talked about it off the air, the things that Grapevine wants to do to have success, not just today, but really the entire season. Ball control, which we've already talked about. It didn't happen in that first drive going 3 and out, but you get that muff punt, you have the ball in opponent territory, you're able to punch it in for the touchdown. Outstanding start here for the Mustangs.
So Grapevine will kick it away. Up 3-0 with 6 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
Wondering how different of a look you're going to see offensively from Wakeland from what we just saw from Grapevine. It's really kind of a throwback pace, the slowing things down. I feel like Wakeland's going to want to try and get this thing out and moving a little bit more.
We'll get a look at Jaden Maples, the quarterback for Wakeland. Big-time target tonight. Ryder Treadaway will be his go-to guy. So Grapevine's got their hands full defensively. Cade Moreland will kick it away from the 40. Sun setting here on a gorgeous, hot, steamy night in the Metroplex.
You tell DeBest that they're not giving the ball to the opponent until the 6-minute mark of the first. I think he would have been real happy with that.
There's Moreland, who just gave the Mustangs the lead and kicks this one pretty deep. About 5 yards deep in the end zone, and slipping and falling. What Noah Connerly has already, he was the one that muffed that punt, and Connerly lost his footing there. Take a touchback, and so Wakeland will have it 1st down and 10 for the first time tonight from their own 25. Let's set this Grapevine defense for you. It's a Mustangs defense. They'll base out of a 3-4. First-year defensive coordinator Charles Wheeler, and a defense that gave up only 14 points per game last year. The defensive end all starts with Bradley Stanier, the team's leading tackler, Luke Gormley on the other side, and Cedric Hicks, the nose guard. The linebackers, Tatum Evans and Michael Yatorka, man the inside. Cooper Towery and Thomas Powers are on the outside. 1st down and 10. Jaden Maples, the signal caller for Wakeland. And they'll go to the ground. Nothing there. Stacked up. It'll be a loss of yardage. Great pursuit. Tatum Evans, the middle linebacker, first there to put his hat on him. Good push up front as well. Here's the rest of that Grapevine defense. The secondary, Dallas Davis, Linnell Randolph. The corners, Brady Boozer's the returning all-district performer, 6'3", 190-pound senior safety, and Carlos McKay to round out that secondary at the safety spot.
That's a sight right there that a defensive coordinator is going to love. There were 5 white jerseys all around the ball carrier there on that first down run.
They ran to Stanier's side, big defensive end on that left side. H-back to the right for Wakeland. Now Maples to throw. Zips it over the middle. Not much there. Great pursuit. Short gain of 3, and it'll set up a 3rd down and long after that pass was caught over the middle by Charlie Johnson, the tight end.
And the types of plays that you're willing to give up for sure there on 2nd and long. Great pursuit after a quick little hitch route. And it's a 3rd down and 11.
The guy you
3rd down and 8.
Yeah, the guy you want to watch is the inside receiver for Wakeland, number 8. They send trips to that right side. He is that slot receiver. Big-time target who's headed to Toledo. 3rd down and 7. Maples, here comes the pressure. He steps away, now he's going to cut it up inside, and he's going to be tackled way short of the 1st down at the 32. Should be a 3 and out as a 4th down and 3 is coming up.
Maples initially showed some really good agility to escape the initial pressure. But Wakeland's going to go ahead and go with the punt team. So here you go if you are Grapevine. You saw the mistake that special teams had on the other end. Your first opportunity on the field. Got to make sure you field this punt, have a chance to go up 2 scores.
Minsky back to punt, down inside his own 20. You got to fight the sun here. It's a field that's east to west, and so right now for Grapevine, they're staring right in that sunshine. This punt, a knuckleball kick. It is fielded cleanly and belted at the 36-yard line. On the return there was Thomas Powers. Grapevine's going to have a 1st down and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
It's Dallas Preston in pursuit who ends up making that play. And you mentioned just making that catch and yeah, staring into the face of the sun. It's not easy to do, so that's an important moment just to make sure that you're not giving the football right back. And it was Wakeland who deferred, wanting to more so go to have their backs against that sun there in the 1st quarter. And if you can put up a couple of scores against an offense, or excuse me, against the defense right out, you feel really good if you're Coach DeBest in these Mustangs.
Just over 4 minutes to go in the 1st. 3rd possession for Grapevine. Holmes in the shotgun. Low snap. Contreras tries the right side. The timing may be just off with that snap that was low. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by that defensive front 3 for Frisco.
I think you're right. I think that slowed down the whole progression of the play. And by the time that Contreras had gotten to that outside, he was met by a handful of defenders.
Drain that play clock. That is the game plan tonight for Bob DeBest. So no hurry. You're going to see really 2 completely different styles of offense. You talked about it a moment ago.
I don't think that we've seen a ball snapped with double digits on the play clock whenever the Mustangs have the football. We're already under 10 right now.
Yeah, Wakeland wants to run that no-huddle tempo style. Grapevine, very different. Here's the option to Contreras. Tackled just by the ankles. Boy, if he gets past the outside linebacker and Jelinek, then Contreras got a chance to turn that up. He's short of the 1st. Be a long down, 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, it creates a little bit of a weird situation because it's an offense that's built 4 or 5 yards at a time. So when you get behind the chains a little bit, 3rd and 7, so kind of in that little bit longer territory. Not sure how comfortable Grapevine is with this down and distance.
3rd down and 7. It is really a brand new receiving core. They're without Ian Hatton, their tight end tonight. Contreras in the pistol behind Holmes. Going to run option. This is Holmes. Hit at the 40. Boy, there was Tristan Lawyer, the all-district inside linebacker who filled that hole, and a 4th down is coming up.
Just for a second, whenever turned that corner, I thought that he was going to have a chance, Holmes, to get that to Contreras, but great job defensively here by the Wolverines, and let's see if they're able to execute special teams unlike they were able to do the first opportunity.
Wakeland sends back Grayson Meyer to receive the punt. Now a timeout is called, and boy.
Yeah, Wakeland didn't like what they saw.
Well, Chandler Isom and his staff fired up. Obviously, you can't afford to be misaligned on a punt. We already seen the special teams with one of the biggest plays tonight with the fumbled punt for Wakeland, and they did not want to have another mishap on this punt.
And I think for Grapevine, they got a lot of confidence because of what they did after that muffed punt. Really want to find a way, if you are Grapevine, to sustain that. If your strength, you feel like, at least on paper at the very start, is on the defensive side of things. And if you're able to put some points up to early on to support that defense, you're really going to put yourself in a good spot. But right now it's Grapevine that is seems to be a little bit more on the same page. Wakeland having a little bit of trouble right now with the officials on the near side.
Here comes that Grapevine special teams unit. Our first quarter tonight brought to you by Stacy Furniture. This is one of 4 games in the district. District 3-5A taking place tonight. The Colonies at Fossil Ridge, Arlington, Seguin, and North Mesquite, Mansfield, Timberview, and Dallas Kimball. And of course here tonight, Grapevine and Frisco Wakeland. These 2 teams played last year with Wakeland winning the opener, the close one. Snap to Holmes and gets it away, and another great kick here. A knuckleball kick to Meyer, and he fills this one cleanly at the 26. Boy, how impressed are you with Jalen Holmes' leg?
Yeah, he's made a big difference. A couple of really good punts, couple of good, or really one good kickoff, and then of course the extra point. So a little bit of change there for Frisco, or for Wakeland, as they went with Meyer to return that punt, or at least to catch that punt the second time around.
Well, here's that Wakeland offense. Jaden Maples, 6'3", 195-pound junior quarterback. He's replacing Brennan Meyer, district MVP last year, who threw for over 3,300 yards, so big shoes to fill. This is their all-district running back, and Ivan Molina. And again, just stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And if there is a strength, it's the front 7 of this Grapevine defense, and that hole was plugged in the middle by Cedric Hicks, the nose guard, who's just a sophomore.
Yeah, stopping the run is so big for both of these teams. Both teams offensively have quarterbacks that are going into their first career start. And if you can get that quarterback a little bit of confidence and kind of a deep breath because the run game's working, that's going to play a big role. But both defenses are up to the task so far.
You got Garcia, a sophomore at the nose guard. Hicks is also a sophomore defensive end. There's the throw from Maples. It's behind. Treadaway, the first time he's targeted him on the coverage was Carlos McKay, the safety, and now 3rd down and 10 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, it looked like Treadaway had a step there, and that throw from Maples just delivered behind the receiver. You can see him; he had plenty of separation, and if if Treadaway doesn't go back and get a hand on that, there's a chance that's an interception.
3rd and long. They went 3 and out on their opening drive. Minute 10 to go in the first. That 3-man front, see if Grapevine might bring some pressure. 2 backs for Maples. Here comes the heat from the outside. He steps up with time, throws, and there is Treadaway with the catch, moves the chains. He's past the 40.
Treadaway, a little something to say after the fact. Well, he is. There is a flag down too. We'll see what that is before we take another look, I guess, at that play. There's a really nice adjustment, I should say, however, though, by Treadaway to pick up the first down.
It's an ineligible man downfield, so Grapevine catches a break here.
Got a couple of breaks today.
Hey, you had the punt that was muffed on the first punt tonight from Grapevine. That led to 3 points. Now, what would have been the first down for Wakeland is negated. This is going to make what an interesting play call here. 3rd down and 15 now after that penalty.
Well, based on the last 2, the plan may be, hey, Ryder, go out there, get open, and we're going to try to get you the football. Last 2 times out, that's where Jaden Maples was looking.
Thomas Powers is the linebacker just inside of Treadaway. McKay is the safety. He plays deep. Here's Maples. Here comes the heat. The throw is nearly intercepted. Boy, the pressure came from the backside, and Maples took a shot in the back. And McKay nearly had the interception.
And he's probably going to be dreaming about that one tonight. That is just a duck that's hanging up there for him to pick off. They're going to get the football back, but, man, what great pressure up front from Grapevine. It comes from the secondary. From the far side of the field, an outstanding rush as the pressure there put on by Cooper Towery.
Now Minsky has to punt from nearly his own 5-yard line. Stands at the 6. Staring into the sun. Powers has got to battle that sun. And it's kicked away from him. Now everybody get away, and that ball rolled. It hit at the 49 of Grapevine. It bounced back and out of bounds. They're going to mark it right at midfield. So Grapevine, great field position here. It's their 4th possession of the first quarter. They've controlled the clock. time of possession has been all Grapevine. They've got the football here with 31 seconds to go in the first.
Really the best of both worlds, controlling the clock. And you talk about this is the 4th time they've had the football, and it's the 2nd time they're going to be starting at midfield or better. So they've had some really good opportunities here in that first quarter.
Here comes Grapevine with Jaden Holmes, junior quarterback, who Bob DeBest says we're going to find out a lot about Jalen Holmes tonight. Just it's early. We want to be patient, not ask him to do too much. And so far, he's operated the offense, put him in good positions. And here we go on a 1st down and 10. Contreras is a running back left. Holmes is going to throw. He escapes the pressure. Now rolling to his left, but he cannot get away from Tristan Lawyer, who's been all over the field in the first quarter.
That's a really tough situation for Holmes as he makes the first man miss. And at that point, if he's a left-handed quarterback, he gets rid of it. He didn't feel comfortable getting rid of the football. Really good pursuit there to make the play.
First man there was Alex Manzur, the defensive end. Tristan Lawyer cleaned him up. That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So it's 3-0 Grapevine as we move to the second quarter. We had to have an abbreviated pregame here tonight, kind of sorting through some things. Opening weekend of Texas high school football. It gives us a chance to kind of reset. Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith with you. Let's talk about our keys to the game tonight. 3 keys for you that stand out for Grapevine. All 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, talking offensively, we've talked a lot about it already, and it's been a key cog of that first quarter is control the ball, control the clock, and really wait for that one big pop to happen offensively. And you saw that in that second drive. A lot of patient play calling for Grapevine, and then all of a sudden, Contreras breaks one for about 20, 25 yards. It sets you up. Obviously, you would have wanted to punch that in for a touchdown, but you'll take the 3 points. On the other side, that fast offensive set for Frisco Wakeland could cause some issues. And so you're going to want to just make sure that you're not playing catch up because the offense is speeding up on the opportunity right around midfield.
2nd down and 12. First play here of the second quarter is now Grapevine with their back to the sun. Holmes puts a man in motion. They got a 2-back set here. First time that Sanchez has carried the football. He stood up at the 50, pushed back. Great surge from that defensive front 7 from Wakeland. All starts up front with the big bodies. Now a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
And you see, again, the initial push wasn't bad from that offensive line, but by the time you got about 3 yards deep, the linebackers were there to stuff Sanchez and pick up that 3rd and long.
Grapevine really has not gone downfield with the football yet, but here they face a 3rd down and 10. Holmes with a 3 wide out set. Riley Goen is the slot receiver to the right. Got an H-back. Now Holmes going to throw, slings it out, incomplete. Well, he had a man in DJ Wright. Might have been able to turn it upfield. It's incomplete. Grapevine will have to punt.
Yeah, had a man, but you would have had to make about four or five guys miss if you were going to pick up the 1st down there. So opportunity on 3rd down, going to set up the punt.
Grayson Meyer back to receive. Dangerous for him as he looks into the sun. Stands back near the 15. Grapevine has won the field position battle here early on, and a big part of that has been the leg of Jalen Holmes. Bring the heat and gets it away. Gets it away from Meyer. See if it takes a Grapevine bounce. Roll at about the 26, and finally, touchdown by Cooper Towery. So Wakeland will take over their 3rd possession of the night. This will start back at their own 26-yard line. Gives us a chance to tell you that our second quarter tonight brought to you by the Compass Church Grapevine. So here comes Wakeland's offense, Jalen Maples. And again, an offense that lost a lot last year. Brennan Meyer, who was the district MVP quarterback. They lost 4 other all-district performers around Maples. And here on 1st down, nothing there. Again, that defensive front line of Stanier, Hicks, and Gormley swarming right there, and they bring down Ivan Molina for a loss of 2.
Another look at that defensive front on your screen there for the Mustangs. And you need these 3, Stanier, Hicks, Gormley, really to be huge, playing a big role in just making sure this defense is lined up now Frisco has kind of slowed things down a little bit. They were playing with a much faster pace those first couple of possessions. Things have changed a little bit, and that should play into Grapevine's plans.
And here's Maples with a 4 wide set. Molina's the running back to his right. In motion, Liddell across. Maples, a lot of room off that right side. Took a big hit. That's McKay who came downhill right there. Tackled at the 29. Well, you're seeing great pursuit right now, not only from the front 7, from that entire crew.
He saw
back in.
He didn't bite. Stanier had a chance to bite on that play fake, and he didn't, and ends up pursuing Maples and keeping that to a minimal gain. And it's been pretty consistent that Wakeland's ended up in this 3rd and 8 to the 3rd and 12 type of range tonight.
3rd down and long, Maples. Here comes the blitz. The pass over the middle and incomplete. Intended for Treadaway. Brady Boozer was there on the coverage. That's going to be a great matchup tonight. 2 all-district performers, and Boozer wins that one, and another 3 and out. It's the 3rd for Frisco Wakeland, who's still looking for their first down.
Well, that was probably the best throw that we have seen from Maples today. That ends up hitting his all-district receiver just off the fingertips, but Brady Boozer right on his heels, making that a difficult catch, and another punt coming up here for Frisco Wakeland. Great job by this Mustangs defense.
Had a chance to get great field position here. Power stands back at his own 40. Minsky to punt with 9:40 to go until the half. It's a low line drive kick. Chance for Powers to return it. Now lost his footing, and he'll be stacked up at the, they'll give him forward progress at the 37.
Powers to the middle of gain out to the 38-yard line.
So that Grapevine offense will set up shop.
By number 15, Dallas Preston.
1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. But boy, how impressed have you been? Grapevine defensively, no first downs for Wakeland. This has got a chance to be a high-powered Wolverines offense, but right now it's the Grapevine defense that's winning the battle.
See if they open things up a little bit more. You know, there's been some breaks for Grapevine. They've played really well defensively, but they've gotten some breaks and given themselves some opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. Would like to see the Mustangs create their own luck here.
Unique formation here with 2 H-backs up top.
What would you call that?
Well, it's nearly a full house backfield here. The 3 in the backfield, a handoff. Again, nothing there on the right side. No gain. That time on the handoff. You're going to see a lot of backs tonight. This time it's Cooper Towery. And some guys are going to play both sides of the football. Not a lot of depth. You're going to see a few defensively. We've seen Tatum Evans. That time we see Towery with the handoff.
That's a lot of fun just watching this offense. We're just going to run the ball, which sounds boring, but then you look at it and there's so much motion and there's so many unique ways to get the ball into the ball carrier's hands. And here's another one of those. 3 in the backfield along with Holmes.
Play clock is at 5. The handoff, Sanchez nearly popped it. He gets to the 42. You know, to that point, it really goes back to the innovative mind of Bob DeBest, a guy that's been around the game and at a very high level throughout his entire career.
I mean, 38 years in the college ranks, and he's been the offensive coordinator at some big-time programs, including locally in the Metroplex, TCU. So, yeah, getting creative and finding new ways to get the ball into your playmakers' hands.
Third down and 5 here for Holmes. They'll send 2 receivers to the short side. DJ Wright is the H-back up top. Trying to move the chains here. Motion Stewart across. It's Contreras. Hit immediately. First guy there was Cohen Nagarni. Stopped him at the 42. So no gain. They'll have to punt it away. And again, Holmes to punt. Tell you, stick with us at halftime tonight. You'll want to hear the interview with Bob DeBest as we talk about Grapevine's second-year head coach. We didn't have a chance to play it for you in the pregame, so you'll have a chance to hear that visit at halftime tonight.
They're bringing the house here on this punt attempt.
High snap. Holmes brings it down, gets it away. And it does take a Mustangs roll.
Oh, what a roll.
Well, this is down inside the 25. They'll pick it up at the 24. It was a high snap, and Holmes has really done everything you could ask of him
Yes.
tonight.
He has. He is Mr. Do-It-All tonight. And you got to think, too, at some point, because of who you've got back there kicking the football, it could potentially set up some of those special teams trickery that we talked a little bit about. That could be something that swings the game.
It's at the 24 here for Wakeland. 7:14 to go in the first half. Mustangs on top 3-0 on a 17-yard field goal from Cade Moreland in the first quarter. Maples, quick strike over the middle. That's the tight end, and Charlie Johnson. Johnson's got it up to the 32, 2 yards shy of the first.
If I'm not mistaken, Wakeland doesn't have a first down. The only one they did have was erased by that illegal man downfield. So positive play, really for the first time all night on first down to make it 2nd and short, and it really opens up the playbook.
Maples with Molina is running back to his left. Here is Molina. And it is, well, that defensive front line again, Stanier, Hicks, along with Gorley. Then the linebacker Evans got there. No gain, and a 3rd down and 2 coming up.
We always think there at that 2nd and short, maybe a time where you're going to try to go deep or get it into the hands of your receiver there on the outside and Ryder Treadaway, but instead just pounding it right back up the gut. And here we go again. Another 3rd down with Wakeland trying to stay on the field.
3rd and 2. Maples. Give. Molina. Hit. Stood up by Boozer, the safety. Push back. See where they mark him. Boy, a favorable spot for the Wolverines at the 34.
Wow, I thought he was at least a half-yard shorter than that.
Well, how impressive has Charles Wheeler in his game plan been tonight? First-year defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they've been super aggressive, and really feels like they're winning those battles up front. There's no room offensively. And just think about how hard it was right there for Wakeland to finally pick up a first down.
Seeing a young defensive front tonight. Sophomore nose guard Garcia and sophomore defensive end Hicks. Here's the pass, downfield and incomplete, targeting Austin Liddell. Good coverage from Thomas Powers and Carlos McKay, and bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Powers step for step right there with Liddell, and that's a really difficult throw for a quarterback at this level, moving to his left just outside of the reach. So when they've had an opportunity, it's mostly been the run defense. When they have had the drop back, hasn't been a ton of opportunities there for Wakeland.
It's a different running back now in Aiden Poole. A change of pace with Poole, senior 5'8", 165 pounds at the right of Maples. He's going to set up the throw, has time. Now that pocket breaks down. Trying to get away, and he does. He's got room. He is close to the first down. Takes a big hit from Boozer at the 35. There's Boozer along with Gormley who were there on the tackle.
Well, there's a couple of different things to notice here. First of all, nearly the sack, and a great job by Maples to escape. He takes a big hit at the end. But then what maybe you didn't see down the field is Austin Liddell was streaky. And without that second type of pressure that came from the secondary, or rather from the second level, Maples might have had a chance to let that one go for a big play.
A couple of first downs here on this drive. They're at the 45. Big hole. And there is Aiden Poole into the cleared. There are no flags, and Poole has put the Wolverines on top on the biggest play of the night.
And this might have been a situation where a little bit of confusion for Grapevine. Right before the snap, the secondary didn't look like they knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. They dropped back at that very last moment, and that just allowed a huge hole up the middle. And after such a great start for Grapevine, you hate to see that, and that lead quickly disappear.
Extra point now from Jack Minsky, senior right-footed kicker. Low line drive kick, good hold right there on a low snap. That gives the Wolverines a 7-3 advantage. So the one big play tonight for the Wolverines. Outside that, the Grapevine defense has been superb.
Yeah, huge hole right there up the gut, and then a couple of really good moves in the second. And I go back to that third down as well. Really close spot. Thought that Grapevine had an argument that it should have been fourth down, but boy, Wakeland takes advantage on a solid run to put them up 7-3.
Aiden Poole, the senior running back, only had 4 carries last year for 2 yards. One of those carries was for a touchdown. He goes 55 yards on that play.
That's a pretty good hit rate on touchdown to how many carries you're getting in your career. 5 touches, 2 touchdowns?
No doubt. Senior running back. We've seen a heavy dose tonight of Ivan Molina, all-district running back last year, but 2 different styles. Molina, more of a big body, 6 foot, 195 pounds. Poole, the scat back at 5'8", $165.
And what will Molina tell you is I just loosened him up.
Right.
Got him tired, and then you jumped in there and took all the glory.
Let's see if Grapevine can return the favor. They've got 4:55 to go in the first. This kickoff high. Booming kick that'll go out of the back of the end zone. So the Mustangs will come out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So keeping it close was so key tonight for Grapevine. And they've got it. It's a one-possession game, 7-3. Trying to get this offense to respond. The most promising drive we've seen from Grapevine tonight was that second drive after the Wolverines turnover.
And with 4:55 left here in the second quarter, this is prime time to be able to have one of those drives that milks the clock, gets you a chance to put some points on the board. Don't want to give the ball back to Wakeland here. So if you can pick up at least 1 first down, you got a pretty good chance of guaranteeing that. But if you could have one of those drives that you had, as you mentioned, right after that muff punt, have some momentum going into that into that halftime break.
Holmes will operate out of a 2-back look in the shotgun. Riley going, Kel Thompson, the receivers here to the near side. It's Contreras. He's got room, and well, he is looking to lower the boom. He gets up to the 31.
That's a fun guy to watch. Just 5'8", 185, but he plays like he's about a foot taller and 50 pounds heavier. Here he comes right there, lowering the helmet. Like a linebacker that he went head up with.
Yeah, Cedric Thornton, the junior inside linebacker, who arrived on the scene. It's a nice pickup there, 5, close to 6. He is 6. 2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs with inside 4.5 to go until the break. Right is the H-back to the right. They've also got a tight end in the formation. Well, a lot of different looks here from Bob DeBess's offense. Holmes on the option. Ball's on the ground. Look out. Contreras got on it at the 30. You held your breath for a moment.
That was really close first to a forward pass. But Contreras able to fall on it. Should get a pretty good look at it here. It is definitely a backwards on the pitch. Definitely did go backwards. So Contreras, presence of mind to fall on that football and avoid disaster.
They lose just a yard, so it's at the 30. Clock is at 3:43 to go in the second quarter. Play clock is at 15.
Well, a first down here would just feel huge to, at minimum, run some more time off that clock and not give the ball back to Wakeland here in the first half.
2 backs in the pistol behind Holmes. Play clock at 2. Contreras cannot get past that surge. He tackled at the 35.
It's going to be really close here on 4th down and maybe a half yard.
It's a big decision right here for Bob DeBess. 3:07. Do they want to play field position?
Well, and it seems, too, that 3-4 yards on the ground has been pretty easy to come by. It hadn't been a whole lot more than that, just the one play from Contreras. But if they're going to go for it here, I feel pretty confident they got a play or 2 or 3 that can guarantee him a yard. And this may be a situation you just let that clock run down, call a timeout, and then go talk about it.
The Wolverines have all 3 of their timeouts. It's interesting, too, that Chandler Isom might not be electing to burn one here, and here is a timeout. And it's called by Grapevine, so Bob DeBess will come over. Maybe the luxury that Grapevine has here is that your punter, Jalen Holmes, is going to be on the field regardless.
Yeah.
So by personnel, it's difficult to tell what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, maybe it could be almost a check with me where I'm going to be in the shotgun. If I got a chance to run for it, I will. If not, I'm going to send this thing down the field and punt it. So lots of different options whenever your playmaker, your quarterback, your signal caller is also the one kicking back there.
It's the game's biggest decision here early with 2:35 left to go in the half. You get it, you move the chains, you keep the drive alive. Of course, the clock is a factor. You don't get it, you're trying to keep this game close tonight. You give the Wolverines a short field, it can spell trouble here with 2.5 to go until the break.
And don't forget, Wakeland gets the football to start the second half, so it would be that dreaded back-to-back possessions that could pull this game from a 4-point game into a double-digit game pretty quickly. So, yeah, a lot riding on this play, and it looks like they're going to come out in a punt formation.
Well, they're going to try and put this game on the back of their defense, and they've done a great job tonight of playing the field position game, and it started with an outstanding night from Jalen Holmes, quarterback and punter, and he's done a terrific job of flipping the field. See what Wakeland wants to do. Are they going to bring the heat? They do up the middle. Holmes gets away another dandy kick. Fair catch at the 34. So now you pin this rest of this half here on this defense, who's been outstanding, minus really just one play.
Yeah, one play has been really the only issue. I do want to correct, too. I think that scoreboard's wrong. If I'm not mistaken, it's only 2 timeouts for Wakeland, which does play a little bit into how they're going to play this final 2:28. Because we did have that timeout on a special teams opportunity earlier. So 2:28, 4-point game. Need to try to find a way here to potentially get the ball back would be great, but just do not let Wakeland get into a scoring position here and an opportunity to put some more points on the board.
They keep Aiden Poole in at the running back position. They go right to him. Boy, he has a quick burst when he gets the football, and he's got close to the first down. He picks up 9.
Now, he's been a difference maker, just getting the ball twice, and you can just see the burst. So he nearly had a chance to break that one again.
2nd down and 1 with 2:15 to go in the second quarter. That front 7 has been so strong tonight for Grapevine. Last 2 plays, though, on the ground, they've popped. And here's Poole again trying to bounce outside. He gets a stiff arm, now slips and falls at the 48. Does get a first down, and it stops the clock.
Now, you saw some of the strength from a guy that, again, in Poole at San, just 5'8", 165 with that stiff arm. Might have had more if he hadn't lost his footing.
Well, first down and 10 with 1:40 to go. Maples sets up and throws high, nearly intercepted. He threw behind his intended target, and Dallas Davis nearly had the pick.
Well, for Maples, he's just been a little bit inaccurate today. He's had a couple of opportunities, and there's 2 or 3 times where he's nearly thrown one to Grapevine. So a break there. I do think Maples throws a good football. He looks comfortable back there. He has the look. He's ball seems to come out of his hands. He's just having a little bit of trouble with his accuracy.
Keep an eye again on Treadaway, the slot up top. Here is Maples looking that direction. It's over the middle, and it's tipped up and incomplete. That was Treadaway who had it for a moment, and then it hung up in the air, and you were begging for Carlos McKay to get there.
And that was another one that's a pretty good throw from Maples, and that's a guy, I think if you ask Treadaway, he's going to tell you he's got to make that catch. He's lucky that the ball hit the turf, but Grapevine stopped the clock with a couple of those incompletions, and now trying to get that football back.
Big 3rd down and 10. Trips up top. Again, Treadaway is the inside slot receiver. Pulls the running back. Grapevine rushes 4. Maples over the middle, throws high. Incomplete. He had Treadaway open inside the 35. So with 1:23 to go, see what Chandler Isom wants to do. Looks like he's bringing on his special teams crew.
Good protection. Throw just a little bit too high. Nearly a great catch by Treadaway. So, 3 and out. Wakeland came out, and their strategy was we're going to put this ball down the field and see if we can put some points on the board, and the drive really goes nowhere.
4th time they've had to punt tonight. Jack Minsky backs up at his own 32. Thomas Powers deep to receive. Field covered in shadows now. There's a snap that's low and on the ground. Got a chance to block it. They nearly do. He got it away. Somehow got it away, and then Minsky gets
look at the roll.
Fortuitous roll. My, oh, my. That's all the way down to almost the 10-yard line. Oh, what a job by the senior kicker. You want to know why he's all-district. Did a Houdini act right there to somehow get that ball not only off the turf, but then to not get it blocked was some sort of feat.
And I'm sure he'll tell you that, I knew exactly what I was doing there. But that's a lot of just closing your eyes and praying if you're a punter and just hoping that you can get rid of that. That was nearly our second huge turn on a special teams opportunity. But Wakeland gets out of it, and because of how deep they are, it's going to be really tough to see anything else on the board here if you're Grapevine.
I'm trying to take care of the football here with 1:08 left to go, deep in your own territory at the 10-yard line. There's Contreras, he's got room. Up across the 20, runs over a man. He's all the way to the 30-yard line.
Well, that changes things a little bit, doesn't it?
Clock at a minute to go until the half. Grapevine with 2 timeouts. A bruising run from Contreras.
Now this one through the left side. His previous run was around the right side of that on that line of scrimmage. He goes left side this time around the left guard and the left tackle and picks up a solid gain to the 30.
That's Bergen Weir and Taden Sneed on the left side. Will Mason the center. Spencer Williams and Daniel Campos on the right. First down and 10. Clock again at 35 seconds. Really in no hurry right here. Holmes gives to Contreras. Nice push up front to the 34.
Well, I was wrong. I thought it might change things, but
yeah,
Grapevine's content to go into the half down 7-3.
Down 7-3, but you feel like this is really played the first half the way Bob DeBest wanted.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. It's about as perfect as you could have drawn it up, especially defensively outside of just one play and one outstanding run. Other than that, you're looking at a lead going into the half.
I'll get us down to the final seconds of the first half. Grapevine finds themselves down 7-3 at the half. They had an early field goal from Cade Moreland, 17-yard field goal following a muff punt by Wakeland, and the Wolverines get their lone points on a 55-yard touchdown scamper from Aiden Poole. 7-3 Wakeland lead at the half. I told you that you want to stay with us. We're going to have a chance to have that interview that we were going to have for you at the pregame. Bob DeBest, our visit tonight. We're going to play that at the half. So Coach DeBest, you'll hear from him tonight, talk about the guys that they had to replace from last year's team that went to the bi-district round of the playoffs, the firepower that they have on offense built around a young junior quarterback, and Jalen Holmes making his first start tonight. But really the strength of this team on that defensive side, and we've seen that tonight. But some questions to be answered here in this 2024 season. Obviously, the biggest one always surrounds a quarterback. Your thoughts on Jalen Holmes in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, he did a little bit of everything, right? And really, he relied mostly on Julian Contreras. And Contreras was the one that really jumps off the page in the first half. Had a couple of big runs that popped off. One of them there in the first half that directly led to those 3 points on the board. But, yeah, thought Holmes kept his poise. Both quarterbacks in their first start having to put up with some stingy defenses. So it's going to be really important if you can get at least one sustained drive early on in that third quarter, and then try to give your defense a chance to put some more pressure on this Wakeland offense. The defense has been playing their tails off.
You talk about the defense tonight. Brantley Stanier gets the headline. 6'5", 240-pound junior defensive end, kid that's got offers to Kansas State. He's been outstanding. I tell you what, two sophomores tonight in the defensive line, Andres Garcia and Cedric Hicks, two big bodies. And the defensive front line tonight from Grapevine's got a great push, and it has to do with those three. And
it feels like that both in the trenches, offensively and defensively, Grapevine has more than held their own. And if you're kind of tipping it in favor of a fighter one way or the other, you're probably leaning more towards Grapevine, even though it is 7-3. So, yeah, those big guys up front I thought have done a really good job defensively getting that push. But, yeah, you're going to need to pop something offensively because, yeah, putting up 3 points in the first half is going to be really difficult to win ball games that way. That's probably putting it pretty easily. So need to see Grapevine here in the second half keep up that defensive pressure and see if they can turn things on offensively.
Luke Gormley is another one to mention on that defensive front. We've seen him around the football tonight. Tatum Evans, linebacker spot, Cooper Towery, Michael Yatorka, Thomas Powers, all been flying to the football. It's been a great defensive performance from Charles Wheeler, first-year defensive coordinator from Grapevine. So it's been an impressive first half. The Mustangs leading by a score, or rather trailing by a score of 7-3 at the first, at halftime here. 7-3, Wolverines on top. We are going to let you listen in that interview. We had a chance to visit with head coach Bob DeBest and get his thoughts on this season opener here on 2024. Welcome back to Mustang Friday night on Tradio. It is Grapevine and Frisco Wakeland Week 1 action, and talking now with Grapevine head coach Bob DeBest. And Coach, you graduated 14 all-district performers from last season, a team that went to the playoffs. It's just the nature of high school football and having to rebuild. What's your thoughts been on the spring and the summer as you get ready for the opener tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of new faces. That was very evident in the spring, when we lined up. I'm glad we had spring ball. When you have a young and experienced team like we do, having spring ball and knowing what you're dealing with going into the summer is critical. And so, we had a really good summer, I thought. Grapevine High School hired a department-wide strength and conditioning coach for the first time. And Coach Burke really made a difference, and I think had a huge impact on our kids. So that was real positive. And we've had a decent camp. you can, there's some, you can't really replicate what happens in the game in practice. I mean, you got to play a game. You have to play the game to get exposed and to find out, about the unknowns. We've got a lot of unknowns going into tonight, and we've seen that, a little bit this camp that we're gonna have to find out who we are and what we can do in this first month or so. We're not going to be able to. We're going to have to guard against getting too high with the highs and too low with the lows, and just keep plugging away.
One of the unknowns a little bit as well is a new district. You go from the Fort Worth district last year into a district in which you had 6 of the 9 teams that went to the playoffs last year. When you saw that new district come out, what were your thoughts?
Wow, that was the thought. There were a couple of scenarios that people predicted. This wasn't one of them. Whatever the experts know, I guess they do it for a living, so they are experts. They've said this is the toughest 5A district in the state. We've got 3 teams ranked in the top 10 in the state that are in our district. And so it's going to be a huge challenge. Grapevine has won a lot of ball games over the last few years playing in the district that we played in the Fort Worth district. Our lives changed dramatically from a competitive standpoint when we went to this one. Really athletic, and we're playing programs. You know what I'm saying? We're playing established programs with tradition, and so you don't have but 2 weeks to get ready for it either. You got 2 non-district games, and all of a sudden you're into district play. So that speeds things up quite a bit. So it'll be a huge challenge for Grapevine. It's been a long time since Grapevine has had to line up in a district like this.
Offensively, you lose your quarterback in Harrison Hackbarth, but you bring in Jalen, gets his first start tonight. Jalen Holmes, as a junior, how excited are you to see him and the progress he's going to make beginning tonight?
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, it's a beginning. That's what it is. And we got to be careful what we ask him to do tonight, that we don't ask him to do too much. And I don't mean that any disrespect for him or his abilities, but it's his first start. It's his first time on the big stage in high school. And there's a lot that goes into that from an emotional standpoint, particularly from the quarterback spot. So I'm excited to see what he can do. He's shown flashes of really a good understanding of what we're trying to get done. We got to make sure that he gets started off in a positive way and kind of make things, let him ease into the game a little bit and get those jitters out. But he's been very positive, been a good leader, and I expect him to do some nice things tonight.
Obviously, it all starts up front with the big guys and the anchor of that offensive line, Daniel Campos, who was all-district last year. Maybe the most impressive thing about him is how he's developed physically. How impressed have you seen just the work that he's been able to put in?
He's as impressive as any kid we have from a work ethic standpoint. If you had seen him 18 months ago, 14 months ago, he's not the same kid, and he's not the same kid because of how hard he's worked and how conscientious he's been. He's changing positions. He's probably more of a guard, but we're having to play him at tackle, and he's attacked that with a great work ethic and character and a sense of urgency. And so he is our leader up there. Bergen Weir is also a senior, playing guard like he did last year. Bergen was elected captain. Have to take the lead for us up front.
Take a short break. We come back. We'll talk with Coach Bob DeBest about the defensive side of the ball in Keys tonight against Frisco Wakeland here on Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
And welcome back to Mustang Friday Night on Tradio, visiting with head coach Bob DeBest. And we'll switch sides now to the defensive side. A lot of strengths on the defensive side of the ball. Let's start with your defensive coordinator that comes in Charles Wheeler. What kind of impact has he made on the defensive side of the ball?
I think he made a huge impact from day one, just because he's a great communicator. And that was one of the things that impressed me most about interviewing him was just how clear he was, how concise he was, how sincere he was. The kids noticed it right away. He just has a really unique knack for teaching. What's helped is Hunter Gross is our special teams coordinator and safeties coach. Hunter and Charles have been together now. This is their third program they've been together. Mesquite Horn, W.T. White, and now Grapevine. That's helped a lot as far as install is concerned. Because Charles can trust Hunter in the back end, and Charles can handle the front end. So both those guys have had a huge impact from day one, and they've got some guys to work with. I mean, the strength of the team is on the defensive side without question, and the defense is going to have to probably carry us for a little bit, until the offense can find their way.
Let's talk about a few of those guys defensively, particularly in the front seven. Bradley Stanier stands out, big 6'5" defensive end. Tatum Evans at linebacker. How much will you lean on them, and how special of a talent are those two?
They're very talented. I think they're both college prospects, future college football players. Both of them great character, great work ethic. Both of them elected captains by their peers. So we'll rely on them, along with Cooper Towery, along with Luke Gormley. There's Brady Boozer on the back end, Thomas Powers. There's some veterans that have been around, that have been through off seasons, been through summers, been through games, good and bad, that we're going to rely on to bring some of those younger kids along. Because with the experience, you're also going to see a tremendous amount of youth on defense too. At the corner position, D-line at times. So it's a good mix. That's where our strength is. And they're going to have to carry us, as I said.
Let's get into the keys tonight. Frisco, Wakeland in week one. Starting offensively, facing that Wakeland defense, you expect them, I'm assuming, to get downhill with their front seven. What becomes key tonight, particularly for a young quarterback seeing his first action?
Yeah, if they're going to run downhill, we got to stop them. Obviously, the reason they're running downhill is to create penetration, create negative plays, make you go east and west. So then it comes down to the front and the tight ends. We don't have Ian Hatton tonight, which is a shame. He's one of probably our best returning offensive football player. So we've got some young tight ends in there. They're going to have to step up tonight. But it starts in the offensive line as far as stopping the charge. Stymieing the charge. If you do run to the line of scrimmage and you do get a pop, there's not a lot of people left. And so, famine feast is something that we talk to our guys about a lot. They may stop us, they may stone us, but all of a sudden now it's going to pop. Just keep grinding, keep pounding the rock, and that's what it's going to have to be tonight. We're gonna be very deliberate about the clock, and try to shorten the game a little bit. So offensive line has got to be on.
Other side of the football tonight, Wakeland, high-powered offense. I give you some multiple sets defensively. What stands out, keys in this opener?
This is a program that's been doing what they do for quite a while. If you go back a few years when we started preparing for them, when we played them the first time, there's not a lot of change. And so these kids come up in this program and in this system. Different than what our defense has been seeing all camp and all spring, and so that's been a little bit of a challenge to replicate that. I think we've done a pretty good job of preparing them for the first game. But again, you can't prepare them for the speed of the game. You can't prepare them for the nerves and all the emotion and the energy that go into the first contest, And so both sides of the ball are going to have to adjust to the speed of the game as quick as they possibly can. So we can hang in there, recover from the blows that are inevitable in the first ball game, and just settle in.
Well, excited for the opener tonight. Look forward to our visits this year, Coach. Best of luck this evening.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
That is head coach Bob DeBess. More to come on Mustang Friday night on Tradio right after this.
Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Stacy's Labor Day sale, and this year we're celebrating by giving you our biggest savings of the season.
Relax and style for less. We have power reclining sofas starting at $8.98 and power sectional starting at only $29.98.
And get your best night's sleep on our new rocking adjustable base. That's right, Stacy's is the first to offer this brand new technology, and trust me, you'll sleep like a baby.
Shop today during Stacy's Labor Day sale, and remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's,
you're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
We're the #1 Chevy dealer in the world. You have more inventory than anyone. Classic Chevrolet. Last chance through Labor Day only. We're offering model year-end savings early on all new 2024 Chevys. Like new Silverados. 14 grand in total savings. Don't miss out on 24s. 14 grand total savings. It's the final days. New Silverados will sell fast. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the 2024 Wakeland High School.
Right, he's going to be stopped for it. And it's into the end zone for the touchdown.
First queen nominee is Avery Morgan. Parents are Russell and Lisa Morgan. Avery's escorted by her father, Russell Morgan. Avery's involved in Wakeland Yearbook. She was a member of student council and is in the National Honor Society. Avery plans to attend the University of Alabama, where she will study psychology. The second king nominee is Tristan Lawyer. Parents are Brian and Jennifer Lawyer. Tristan's being escorted by his mother, Jennifer. Tristan plays varsity football, and he also runs track. He plans to play football in college at the University of Tulsa. The second queen nominee is Peyton Johnson. Parents are Trent and Carla Johnson. Peyton's being escorted by her father, Trent. Peyton runs track for Wakeland and plans to attend college at either OU, Ole Miss, or Texas Tech. Over the past year, she's worked as a lifeguard at Lifetime Fitness. The third king nominee is Ben Miller. Parents are Jerry and Lori Miller. Ben is escorted by his mother, Lori Miller, tonight. Ben's a drum major for the Wakeland Band and the editor of the school broadcast program. Ben is planning to attend the University of Colorado, where he plans to major in music. The third queen nominee is Ireland Jackson. Parents are Scott and Nicole Jackson. Ireland escorted tonight by her father, Scott Jackson. Ireland's captain of the Wakeland drum line. She loves photography. She'd like to pursue a career in veterinary medicine after her college days. The fourth king nominee is Connor Speeden. Parents are Connor and Janine Speeden. Connor's escorted by his mother, Janine Speeden. This will be Connor's third year on the Wakeland varsity track team. He's founder and president of the Future Wakeland Pickleball Club. Connor serves as the philanthropy chairman of the Young Men's Service League of McKinney. The fourth queen nominee is Sophie Boomstra. Parents are Trevor and Jim Hui Boomstra. Sophie's a student teacher at a preschool through her child guidance internship, and in the future would like to start her own school. Sophie's in the band and hopes to go to the University of Texas in Austin. At this time, we're proud to introduce Principal of Wakeland High School, Dr. Donna Edge. Dr. Edge has the honor of crowning tonight's winners. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Wakeland High School homecoming queen is Sophie Boomstraw.
Taking a look at the Grapevine Mustangs. Mustang Walk brought to you by Mesa's Mexican Grill. And for Grapevine, they're down 7-3 here at the half to the Wakeland Wolverines. We are about 3.5 minutes away from kicking off the second half. It's homecoming here tonight for Frisco Wakeland. Well, we have a chance to tell you some statistics here. Our statistician, Mason Mears, nobody better than the business than Mason Mears, has our first half stats for us. For Grapevine, they have 82 yards rushing on 22 carries. Wakeland just a little bit better, 86 yards on 11 carries. Good part of that was a 55-yard touchdown run by Aiden Poole. Through the air, it is Grapevine 1 of 4 for 4 yards, and for Wakeland just 2 of 13 for 13 yards for Jalen Maples. Look at the individual stat line, and Grapevine led by Julian Contreras on the ground. 15 rushes tonight for Contreras, 72 yards for Contreras tonight. Jamie Sanchez, 3 carries, 10 yards. Cooper Towers also had a carry, as well as Jalen Holmes. And for Wakeland, Aiden Poole, the 3 rushes, 68 yards and a touchdown. That's, again, that 55-yard touchdown scamper has been the difference in the ballgame. Really nothing through the air of much to note for either team. The 1 catch for Grapevine, Dallas Davis, 1 grab for 4 yards. And then for Wakeland, Charlie Johnson, 2 catches, 13 yards. They've not been able to connect with Ryder Treadaway, their receiver who's headed to Toledo. Treadaway, who had over 1,000 yards receiving last year, has had a difficult time. He's had a few targets, but just nothing that he's been able to haul in. So 7-3 Wakeland on top, just a couple minutes away from kicking off the second half here at Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas.
Stacy's Labor Day sale, and this year we're celebrating by giving you our biggest savings of the season.
Relax and style for less. We have power reclining sofas starting at $8.98 and power sectional starting at only $29.98.
And get your best night's sleep on our new rocking adjustable base. That's right, Stacy's is the first to offer this brand new technology, and trust me, you'll sleep like a baby.
Shop today during Stacy's Labor Day sale, and remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's,
you're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
A Frisco ISD football fan. The Frisco Education Foundation wishes all of you a successful season. Please consider being a quarterback for students and staff at Frisco ISD by making a donation today to the Frisco Education Foundation. Every gift you make will help us cross the goal line. Welcome back to the field, Mustangs and Wolverines.
Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, 7-3. Wakeland on top of Grapevine. We're ready for the third quarter. Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith with you tonight. Opening act of this 2024 season here on a Thursday night. And for Bob DeBest, we talked about his game plan. You heard our conversation with him at the half. Their keys to the game. And really, despite the score being down 7-3, really played out the way Bob DeBest wanted.
Yeah, I feel like if you were just watching the game and didn't have the benefit of the scoreboard, you probably would have favored it a little bit more in favor of Grapevine. Outside of us, we've talked about just that one play. So as you went through some of those first half stats, you could see there was some difficulty getting things going offensively for both of these teams. But it's just two talented defenses that are playing up to their name, and we'll see which one of these blinks first here in the second half.
Wakeland won the toss in the first half. They deferred, so they will get the football. Kicking it away, Cade Moreland, who has the only points tonight for Grapevine. He had a 17-yard field goal. He'll tee it up from the 40. Sun is set. Gorgeous night for high school football, and this kickoff to begin the third quarter comes down. Will be returned at the 10-yard line. Big hole right here up to the 30-yard line. On the return was Noah Connerly. It was Connerly who had fumbled the punt back in the first half. He also slipped and fell on a kickoff return, but that time right there, Connerly with a nice return. And it will start Wakeland on this drive up at their own 31-yard line.
You mentioned there in the first half for Frisco Wakeland, just 2 of 13 for Jaden Maples throwing the football, but he's tried multiple times to get it to his playmaker, Ryder Treadaway. Those two have just not been on the same page so far today.
Stanier, Garcia, and Hicks, the down linemen for Grapevine. They've had a strong first half. Here's Poole on the carry. Powers was the first one there. Big hit. A helmet is lost. Poole with tough earned yardage up to the 36. He gets close to 7. Lost his hat in the process.
He'll jog off the field, but that's a solid first down run for Wakeland. Grapevine has really won the battle up front in the first half. They did so good with that defensive line. Were able to get some pressure on without really sending the house. And they're going to have to buckle down here and continue that in the second half.
They gave him 5 on the play, so second down and 5. Molina has come in at the running back spot in place of Poole, who lost his helmet. There's Johnson, the H-back motions. Maples looking, throwing. It's caught. And then kind of running backwards, had a chance to get to the first down. Austin Liddell backtracked. Ends up, I'll mark him at the 40-yard line, just shy of the 40. Bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. Once that ball was caught, it looked like immediately kind of a step towards the wrong end zone. So good pursuit. Carlos McKay sort of leading the charge there defensively. 3rd down and 1. Big stop here, opportunity for Grapevine.
It was just the 3rd completion tonight for Maples. Pulls back at running back. Liddell motions back across. Still plenty of time on the play clock. It's at 10. 3rd down about 1.5 yards. Maples throw incomplete. Boy, he had his man in Grayson Meyer. He may have heard the footsteps from Dallas Davis. It's incomplete. It's a 4th down. See what Chandler Isom wants to do right here.
All right, it's got to be really frustrating if you are Frisco Wakeland. Is Meyer had the step to throw, maybe a touch behind, but one that Meyer's got to catch. 3 and out and a break here for Grapevine. Although
it may look like they're maybe going for it here. 4th and 1. And they are. They bring in the big bodies here, and they work out of a 2-back set, the I formation. Maples under the gun for the first time tonight. Grapevine loads the box. Big play here, 3rd and 1. Lost the snap. Ball's loose on the ground. Maples is tackled, and he's not going to have the first down. Well, that was a late whistle. They finally marked him down at the 40-yard line, and Grapevine, here comes a late flag. Oh, you're hoping that's well after the play. Grapevine will have held right here if everything stands.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly. They have pointed towards Grapevine. It's going to be Grapevine's football. Whatever penalty happens is going to be induced after the change of possession.
So they turn it over on downs.
Got an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, that's a big penalty because Grapevine would have the football in Wakeland territory at the 40. Now you're going to be back in Grapevine territory at the 45. Good news is they've got the football back, but for Maples, that's unfamiliar territory. Going under center, and he just never seemed to have a handle on the snap.
Boy, that's a huge break there for Wakeland because of where, as you mentioned, where Grapevine's going to have to start with the football.
So back at their own 45. Mustangs have had some challenges moving the ball tonight, so yeah, field position there. Would have been massive to have the football at the 40-yard line. Instead, it comes back to their own 45.
And for something like that to happen so late after the whistle.
They've had success in the ground game tonight. Contreras was 72 yards in the first half out of a 2-back set. Holmes with a hard count. This is Sanchez on the carry. He is walloped as soon as he got the football. David Jelinek in there on that stop, along with Tristan Lawyer, the 2 linebackers. Be a 2nd and 11 here for Grapevine. Their lone points came on their second drive, 17-yard field goal from Cade Moreland that followed a muffed punt return by Wakeland. It's been one of the big plays tonight. Outside of that, Grapevine's had to punt on their other 5 possessions. 2 backs in the pistol for Holmes. The play clock down to 7. Holmes on the option. Good toss. Contreras makes a man miss. He's into the secondary and has got a first down. Move the chains. He's to the Wakeland 40.
That is the triple option working to perfection. There's a little bit of some extracurricular afterwards, but see how close that defender was to Jalen Holmes. Just shovels that out there to Contreras, who had 72 yards in the first half. That's his 3rd run, and he has popped off for at least 15 yards.
That is vintage Bob DeBest football. 37 years you talked about in the college ranks. A lot of that predicated around triple option. Had 4 or 5 stints as an offensive coordinator, and now almost that same look in the backfield. They do offset that eye in the pistol, but a full house backfield. Sanchez spun around, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Again, Lawyer there on the stop.
And it is just over and over trying to pound this football up the middle, and then every now and then bumping it outside, really wearing down this front line for the Wolverines.
Yeah, 2nd down and 10. They'll take out Luke Stewart. And shuffle a man in here with a 2nd down and long 10 coming up. 8:35 to go in the 3rd. Mustangs find themselves down 7-3 in Wolverines territory. Been a heavy dose of the ground game tonight. Just the 1 completion from Holmes. Junior quarterback making his first start. Now timeout. There was confusion, and the play clock was down to 2. And so they do burn one of their 3 timeouts.
Yeah, even that 1 completion that you mentioned, that was a quick out that went for just 4 yards. And I feel like that Holmes has been running the triple option really well. Obviously, Contreras is having an outstanding day on the ground. Once Holmes is able to start completing some of those intermediate passes, that's going to open things up a little bit more offensively. So the first half you felt like went perfectly for Grapevine outside of 1 play, and it feels like the start of the second half sort of has that same feel. Getting points here would be massive for the Mustangs.
2nd down and 10 coming up for Grapevine. Huddle up around Bob DeBest and offensive coordinator Jeffrey Hyde, who's in his 3rd year. What a staff that Bob DeBest has put together. Jeffrey Hyde, who was an offensive lineman at Texas A&M, had coaching stints at Dallas Skyline and at Duncanville under the legendary Reginald Samples. So Bob DeBest has assembled really a fine coaching staff here, and now they've put their minds together here on a 2nd down, long 10 coming up. See what they've got in mind.
Yeah, Grapevine fans having a good time and hoping to be able to celebrate a little bit more here soon.
2 receivers here to the right for Holmes and company. Long snap count. Holmes going to throw. Has all sorts of time. Going deep down that right side and incomplete. He was angling for Kel Thompson up the right side. And a 3rd down and 10. First shot that they've taken down the field tonight.
Yeah, just let it go. Deep down that right side. Just a little bit overthrown by a few yards. Defense was there too. Would have been a really difficult pitch and catch.
A big 3rd and 10. These are the situations that wanted to avoid tonight. Behind the chains. In 2 receiver set. A lot of formations you see from this Mustangs offense. Stewart down to the backfield. Holmes tosses it. Oh, what a pitch. And the first down yardage from Luke Stewart. Oh, my. What a job by Jalen Holmes to somehow pitch that football in traffic to Luke Stewart on the run.
Oh, that takes some guts to pitch it in that situation. I mean, he's got to go through 3 or 4 different guys, and he's able to get it right to his target out of the backfield, and Luke Stewart. This is really the second prolonged drive that we have seen for Grapevine today, and the first one since that second drive after the muff punt.
This started back at their own 45-yard line. Their first possession here of the second half. They're knocking on the door just shy of the 25. Play clock down inside 5. Sanchez in between the tackles off that left side. He's swallowed up. Short gain of 1.
Body shot after body shot. And those longer runs are starting to pop a little bit more. And we've talked about it at length. It's head coach DeBest, that's what he wants. Pound it away, and then boom. All of a sudden, you never know when that big play is going to pop.
Contreras has had a couple of those hit tonight. And then we just saw Luke Stewart motioning from his receiver spot into the backfield. He had a big run on that option. Now 2nd down and 9 for Holmes. Motions Contreras. He's going to throw. Play action. Rolls to his left. In trouble. Trying to throw across his body. He got away from a man and somehow turns what would have been a loss into maybe a minimal gain.
And it gives him a chance on 3rd down. And you can see Holmes, he had a lot of time. Great protection up front from the big guys. Good job by Holmes to make a man miss and at least get something positive out of that.
Jalen Holmes Jr. is making his first start at the varsity level. Harrison Hackbarth, the all-district quarterback last year, lost to graduation. They lost 7 all-district performers on that offense. It's a young unit right here. Holmes 3rd and 9. Wolverines blitzing, the toss, Contreras. Lost the football, and the Wolverines may have it. At the 18-yard line, a scamper for it, and Grapevine has turned it over for the first time tonight.
Oh, that's tough. It wouldn't have had the first down. See, the 17-yard line's about where he needed to get was short of that. But to at least not give yourself a chance for a long field goal or maybe going for it on 4th down, that hurts after a solid drive by Grapevine. Their first mistake turning the football over. And you hate that for Contreras, who has had such a good game today. He's really been the offense for the Mustangs.
Deep in their own territory now. Wakeland, 1st and 10 at their own 18. 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Maples. Going to keep it, a lot of room off the right side. And a big hit by Boozer around the 25. Still a gain of close to 8. And they lost the football, though. Grapevine says they've got it.
And it looks like the main official saying no. You can see him there on the right side of your screen saying no, no, no. He was down. That was one of the first times I think that Grapevine has been fooled by that QB, that read option. As majority seemed to go with the running back instead of staying with the quarterback in Maples, who picks up one of his best runs of the game.
Well, it's been a hard-hitting game on that defensive side for Grapevine. Physical 11 that are on the field for that defensive unit. 2nd down and 2. Pulls the running back. Maples to throw. Here comes the blitz up the middle. That ball hanging up in the air, nearly intercepted. Boy, Grapevine has had a couple of chances tonight, and it all starts with the pressure. Boy, great pressure at that time that came from Luke Gormley.
Yeah, he got there quickly, and because of that, that's the 3rd or 4th ball that has been just beyond the fingertips of a Mustangs defender. Well, if one of those can turn into a turnover, watch out.
3rd down 2, big play. And they may have drawn a man off sides. Stanier jumped along with Garcia. See if there was movement up front for Wake. That was a hard count right there from Maples. It is on Grapevine. Tough break for the Mustangs.
I think we can hear the coaching staff above us. They were not happy with that move there. 3rd and 2. That's a cardinal sin to jump off sides and give the opponent a first down.
Inside 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Wolverines after the first down. Here's Poole, a stretch play. big hit at the 30-yard line. That's Gormley again.
Oh, he's been impressive this drive.
It is a defense that flies around. That front seven. Talk about the young sophomores and Hicks and Garcia. Gormley's one of the veterans there, junior defensive end. He's playing some linebacker tonight.
He's a solid kid, 6'1", 195, good speed. He can bring the wood.
And he's playing that inside backer tonight along with Tatum Evans. 2nd down and 9.
He's coming again.
And they sling it out into the flat. Makes one man miss. Gets close to the 40. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. That was Grayson Meyer on the catch.
That initial defender had a chance. Good blocking, but then a little jab step move to get around Thomas Powers and make it 3rd and short.
Another big 3rd down. It's Grapevine defense trying to get off the field. Wolverines, their drive started back at their own 17. 3rd and 2. Maples looks, throws, caught. Meyer, boy, he had all sorts of green grass in front of him. Oh, and then late hit, and Grapevine's going to be lucky if they get away with this one, right? Over on that far sideline, and no penalty flag is thrown, but it is a 1st down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, and kind of surprising to see him go to the air. And as you mentioned, Meyer had a chance. You thought he might break it there momentarily. Has to turn around and ends up getting popped out of bounds.
So they've moved into Grapevine territory. Ball just on the Grapevine side of the 50. Maples over the middle, juggled and caught. Meyer, a foot race, and he wins it. Wolverines go up 13-3 with 4:09 to go in the 3rd.
Well, a juggling catch, but Meyer able to hold it in. And that's a huge turn for Wakeland after Grapevine had driven all the way down deep into Wakeland territory. Looking, they were going to cut into this lead. The turnover and a few plays later, a big touchdown pass. Wakeland, both of their touchdowns have been on big strikes.
Extra point from Minke. Give the Wolverines a 14-3 advantage. The Mustangs have got their work cut out for them now. A 4:09 left to go in the 3rd. Grapevine down by 11 now and 2 scores.
It really is a tale of just 2 plays that have been the big difference.
Oh, we'll take a break here from Kirkendall Stadium. Grapevine down 14-3. This is Mustangs Friday night.
More inventory than anyone. Classic Chevrolet. Last chance through Labor Day only. We're offering model year-end savings early on all new 2024 Chevys. Like new Silverados. 14 grand in total savings. Don't miss out on 24s. 14 grand total savings. It's the final days. New Silverados will sell fast. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
14-3. Wakeland now on top of Grapevine. Our 3rd quarter brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. Reagan Ratcliffe and Brendan Smith. Our statistician Mason Mears. Mustangs now down 2 scores. They've got to find a way for this offense to respond. They've showed some bright spots tonight. Defense is all but really 2 big plays. Minus that, they have been superb. As this kickoff, the touchback, Grapevine will have it at their own 25.
And if you are this Grapevine defense, I don't think you can beat yourself up too much. You've been able to keep yourselves and keep your team in the ball game. And as you mentioned, just 2 plays. Had an opportunity for maybe a handful, maybe 2 or 3 interceptions. Did get the big turnover on the fumble. So you're not out of this yet. You're going to need something from this offense to break it and see if they can get something going here and get right back in this thing.
That's a crucial drive coming up here for Julian Holmes. They were knocking on the door. They got down inside the 20 on their last drive with a chance to pull within 1 or take the lead, and a fumble. Gave the ball back to Wakeland, turn it into a touchdown. Here's DJ Wright, motion across. That low snap. This is Contreras trying to get outside. Good pursuit. He turns it up to around the 28.
This is a really fast Wakeland defense, and Contreras was able to get around that first edge, and I'm with you. I thought he had a chance to break that and pick up 10, 15 yards, but great pursuit there from the line, or rather from the secondary. As the cornerback coming up to make the play.
They got a 2nd down and 7 for Grapevine. Clock at 3:35. Be interesting to see how Bob DeBest manages the clock now. Down by 11. They've been all throughout the night getting that play clock. They've snapped the football inside 5 seconds. Holmes got it down to 6, now at 5. So still working the clock here. Holmes on the option. Sanchez, 1st down and more. His best run of the night's close to the 45. Well, they found some success tonight in the option game.
No, they have, and that's really been where most of their offensive, where those runs have had their success. This type of play here, and really because of what Holmes is able to do. He holds on to that football as long as he possibly can. Hit Sanchez, who has not been the go-to guy. It's been Contreras, but now Sanchez picks up a nice run while Contreras picks up a breather.
Yeah, inside 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Stewart goes the far side up top. A 3-receiver set. Still 2 backs in the backfield. 3-man defensive front for Wakeland. There's all sorts of movement. This is going to be on the Mustangs.
And a little bit sloppy here in the second half. Had a pretty clean first half outside of maybe one penalty. And a couple of them here in the third quarter.
This will back it up inside the 40. 1st down and 15 for Grapevine.
When you think about 2 of those 3 penalties, they've been killers. Jumping off sides on 3rd and 2 to give a 1st down. That's, of course, the big one. And then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that cost them having the football deep into opponent territory.
Quick snap here. Contreras looking for a seam. He's got it into the secondary. Contreras past the 45 up to about the 44.
And a little bit of a change of pace there, too. Not taking their time under center, letting that play clock get down. Instead, just snapping it. And Contreras able to break another one. He's got to be approaching 100 yards, if not already broken.
Well, the ground game's been big tonight for Grapevine. Contreras moved the chains up to the 44. Grapevine with 1:50 to go in the 3rd. Now into Wakeland territory. Holmes on the give. Big hit. Boy, a booming hit at the 42. That's Lawyer again. He has been all over the field tonight.
And the freshman getting a full taste there of a big-time defensive prospect.
Yeah, it's Jake Graham. You talk about a freshman that's coming up. This is a big, strong kid in Graham. 6'1", 186 just for a freshman. His first carry, one that he might remember. His Lawyer put the hat to him. 2nd down and 8. Ball's on the turf. Holmes, though, picked it up. He's got the 1st down.
The old fumble-rooski.
Jalen Holmes to the 25.
Put that in the playbook. Is sometimes your best plays are the ones that happen by accident, and Holmes puts that ball on the turf, but ends up getting away from a couple of defenders and picks up about 20 yards.
Well, Jalen Holmes in his first start, he's made some plays tonight. On the ground. That time he's able to move the chains down to the 27. Grapevine with one of their best drives tonight. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Got a 2 tight end set. Contreras running in behind those big bodies on the left side. He's down inside the 20. What might very well be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
You can almost just book that Contreras is going to pick up 6 or 7 per carry. They have worn down this defensive front, and they're going to have a chance in the 4th quarter to try and make this a 1-possession game.
The final play of this 3rd quarter. So we will head to the final 12 minutes here at Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas. The Wakeland Wolverines lead Grapevine 14-3. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
We're the #1 Chevy dealer in the world. You have more inventory than anyone. Classic Chevrolet. Last chance through Labor Day only. We're offering model year-end savings early on all new 2024 Chevys. Like new Silverados. 14 grand in total savings. Don't miss out on 24s. 14 grand total savings. It's the final days. New Silverados will sell fast. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
Back to Frisco, Texas. Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith. 14-3 Wolverines leading, but Grapevine on the move down inside the 20-yard line. What very well could be their best drive of the night. Jalen Holmes in his first career start. 2 backs in the backfield. Contreras has had a huge night. They brought in Tatum Evans as the H-back. The give, Contreras running left. He's got the first down, a little bit more to the 15.
I mean, every time he gets the ball, it's 3 or 4 yards before anybody's able to put a hand on him. So the offensive line for Grapevine started to assert their will here in the third and now the fourth quarter.
That big line, it averages 270 pounds a man. Steeden Campos, the tackles, Weir and Williams, the guards, and Mason, the center. Got a couple of sophomores and 3 seniors in that group. Holmes with Contreras and Sanchez in the backfield. DJ Wright, the H-back to the right. Play clock at 5. They snap it late. Here's Sanchez. Picks up 2.
And you mentioned it earlier. At what point do you have to start snapping it a little bit earlier? Maybe trying to punch it in on this drive, and then if you get it back, or once you get it back, go a little bit quicker. But there's still no hurry, no sense of panic right now for this Grapevine offense.
And the one time they did that tonight, it did pop. It was a big play. But they have stayed true. Bob DeBess has really stayed true to this game plan tonight, and it's put them in a position. A very critical drive right here that if you can get points, you're right back in this ballgame. 2nd down and 8. Wolverines walk up an outside linebacker. Holmes, quick toss. Contreras just needs a block. Runs over a man at the 10. Down inside the 5. He's got the first down, and the Mustangs have got it 1st and goal at the 4.
Well, that was another dangerous pass, or dangerous pitch from Holmes before getting it there to Contreras. Cutting inside of his receiver. 1st and goal, got to punch it in here if you're the Mustangs.
Contreras came off the field. They got a 1st down and goal now with the running backs. You've got Sanchez and also Graham, the freshman. Receivers each side. Right is the H-back. Holmes on 1st and goal. This is Graham. Graham rumbles to the 2. His 2nd carry of the night. Young freshman got him right on the doorstep here. 2nd goal at the 2 coming up.
I mean, you really are at a point now. It's must punch in time if you're Grapevine. Your defense has been playing lights out. And another big portion of this is the defense right now is on the sideline, at least the ones that aren't having to play both ways, on the sideline catching their breath.
Yeah, Cooper Towery, Michael Yatorka have come in. 2nd down and goal at the 3-yard line. Right, the H-back left. Holmes. Play clock down to 8. Still snapping it late. Right motions. On the ground. Holmes with the toss. It was behind Sanchez, but he hauled it in and scampers in. Mustangs are back in it. With 9:04 to go, it's now 14-9.
Well, the exact type of drive you needed exactly whenever you needed it. That is an outstanding drive for Grapevine. Just a fully dominating drive on the ground to get yourself right back in the ballgame.
Jamie Sanchez with the touchdown. He had 1 touchdown run last year as a sophomore. Here's Moreland with the extra point. It's good, and now Grapevine will turn to their defense, who's been so strong tonight. Offense did their job. It's now 14-10. Wakeland on top. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
It's Stacy's Labor Day sale, and this year we're celebrating by giving you our biggest savings of the season.
Relax and style for less. We have power reclining sofas starting at $8.98 and power sectional starting at only $29.98.
And get your best night's sleep on our new rocking adjustable base. That's right, Stacy's is the first to offer this brand new technology, and trust me, you'll sleep like a baby.
Shop today during Stacy's Labor Day sale, and remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's,
You're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
Back to Kirkendall Stadium, Frisco, Texas, where the Mustangs marched 75 yards on that drive, capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by Jamie Sanchez with the ground game on that drive. And how about the job tonight that you're seeing from Jalen Holmes in his first start operating the offense? Has been impressive.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you say, how good has he been? And then you look, well, he's not throwing the football a ton, but just to be able to navigate and kind of be the maestro, orchestrate that triple option, he has been a key cog in this offense and a big reason why the Mustangs are right back in the football game.
Moreland, good kick here. 2 yards deep, and it's a touchback. Boy, some late whistles. There's a couple of big hits down around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, some action there on the sideline. A couple of guys getting after each other. Looks like Dallas Preston for Wakeland and Carlos McKay getting involved there on the near sideline.
Well, now Grapevine will turn to their defense. Minus a couple of big plays tonight, this defense has just been outstanding.
I want to thank our fourth quarter sponsors, well, Bada Cap Alley Ice House Grill. Thanks for bringing us Grapevine Mustang football.
They're going to bring this up to the 30-yard line. It's been a penalty or some infraction.
I guess that extracurricular stuff we referenced there.
Interesting. Which have only been 5 yards. They're at the 30-yard line. Here's where they'll start this drive. They've got 9:04 left to go in the game. Mustangs down 4. An important drive right here for this defense. This is Poole. He is tackled. Good open field tackle by Cooper Towery. Gain of 6.
Your run defense has been what has kept you in the ball game, and now in a must-stop situation, after giving up a pretty solid gain there on first down, have to try and figure out how to get this team off the field.
2nd down and 4 after that pickup of 6 by Poole. Maples rolls to his left. Quick pass. It's caught. 1st down. Move the chains. First catch of the night from Cohen Nagurney.
Yeah, safe throw there, rolling out the quarterback, getting your slot receiver there to the sideline. Just pitch and catch. Now, Grapevine's been on the verge of a few turnovers. They need one right now.
And they've brought pressure in the blitz is when they've hurried Maples. And he's made a couple of throws that, you're right, have nearly landed in the hands of Grapevine defenders. On 1st down and 10. Quick pass. It's up top, and nice run after the catch. Close to the 1st down. Here come the Wolverines on the move.
I saw Treadaway put that Division I talent to use after the catch. Grapevine's done a good job of keeping Treadaway from taking over this ball game, but going to the air right now is Wakeland when really they need the clock to run. Some of those short intermediate throws that are bringing them some success.
Treadaway was 4th in the area among 5A receivers last year, 1,063 yards. He's been held in check tonight. Johnson, the short motion. The give to Poole, pops through. He's got the 1st down. Down to the 36-yard line. The market at the 37.
Feels like you might be seeing both of these defensive fronts start to wear down a little bit. You saw the success that Grapevine had on the ground last possession, and now it's Wakeland who's starting to do the same thing as turnabout's fair play.
Inside 7:30 to go in the 4th. Looking for a stop, a turnover. Clock can start to become a factor here. Still a one-possession game. The give to Poole. Dancing and now lowers his shoulders. Well, you see the elusiveness of Poole, and then he's not afraid of contact. He got some contact and some extracurricular going on in the secondary. It's a gain of about 5.
And really what's been key in this drive for Wakeland has been the success they're having on first down running the football. They're picking up 5-6 yard chunks there on first down and making it manageable the rest of the way, putting a lot of pressure on Grapevine to try and make something happen as that clock continues to tick.
So much of the first half for Wakeland, we're not finding that success on first down. In fact, their first 3 drives were 3 and outs. They've started to find success on the ground with Aiden Poole. Second down and 5. Maples with time, throws open. There's a big hit, but not before the catch made by Austin Liddell.
And for the first time all game, really for either side, someone's finding some sort of rhythm with the passing game, and it comes at a really difficult time if you're a Grapevine fan. You've got to buckle down, bend but don't break, and you're still just one score from this becoming a tie ball game.
Andres Garcia, the sophomore nose guard, comes out. They slide Hicks down to the nose guard. Now go with a 4-man front. Evans comes down the linebacker. He'll play a defensive end. First down and 10. Now Mustangs bringing the pressure. There's the loose ball on the turf. Maples falls on it, and they'll call him down at the 39. If Maples doesn't fall on that football, there's the break you're looking for.
Yeah, Maples makes that play to keep it from being a complete disaster, but that's a massive break for the Mustangs. Pushing them back about 20 yards. Yeah, Maples has to make that play, but still back to the 44-yard line.
They have got to get to the 6. Second down and forever for Chandler Isom. Now, what does he have up his sleeves here on this second and very long? Clock ticking at 5:05 to go in the 4th.
Officially second and 30.
Maples rolling, looking. Here comes pressure, the hit. The catch made, a sliding grab. The feet were in bounds by Liddell at the 21. Boy, did Maples take a hit. That was Cooper Towery that applied that hit to him.
And stays in bounds, keeps that clock running.
Well, he turns it into more of a manageable third down here, 3rd and 15.
I wonder at this point if you're thinking, let's pick up, try to maybe get to the 15, 10-yard line and settle for a field goal to make it a 7-point ball game.
They've got a strong leg in Jack Minsky, all-district kicker last year, so keep that in mind. 3rd and 15. Play clock's at 4. Down to 3, at 2. Maples gets a snap. Looking for Poole. Now here comes the pressure. He gets away from one. Can't get away from the next wave, and the sack is made back at the 31. It was the sophomore Cedric Hicks who gets that sack. And what a defensive call right there by Charles Wheeler.
Great time to get to the quarterback for the first time. It took a few guys to do it. Kept waiting here to see if Grapevine was going to call a timeout, but they're going to let this clock tick and elect to save their 2 timeouts for what's going to be a potential game-winning possession.
4th down. The ball is at the 31. They need to get down to the 6. And this is interesting here. Maples and the offense stay on. Snap is back. They are. They're going to go for it. Going deep. Down that left side. A little contact. Incomplete. There's no flags. Grapevine's going to get the football with 3:22 and a chance to take the lead.
You can understand the thought process with the difficulty that Grapevine has had at times moving the football. That extra 20, 30 yards of field position could be big. So that missed snap changes everything, and it has given life to Grapevine here. What else do you want? First game of the season, you got 3:22 to go. You need to go 70 yards to win it.
It's the second time tonight that Wakeland has turned the ball over on downs here in this second half. So here is Jalen Holmes and the Grapevine offense. From their own 31, they went 75 yards on their last drive to score their only touchdown. Here's the handoff, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Contreras, nothing there on first down.
And that pitch, once they've gotten it outside, and you got to set it up, obviously, but the pitch around the edge has been what has been the most successful play for Grapevine. Their big chunks have come in the running game, really only taken one shot down the field today.
Second down and 12. Here's the Grapevine offense. They split receivers each side. Two backs along with the H-back and DJ Wright.
We're still letting that clock go down.
Holmes pulls it, tosses it. That ball was on the turf. Oh, and Contreras juggled it. Maybe if he catches it, he's got a chance to get up that sideline. Instead, now a 3rd down and 8's coming up. Mustangs have 2 timeouts, 2:25 to go in the ball game.
Now, obviously, you got 2 plays here to continue the ball game. There's still not a huge change of pace. In fact, there's no change of pace at all for Grapevine. They are taking their time. Play clock's down to 15. Clock is running.
Contreras and Sanchez, the running backs. 3 down linemen for Wakeland. Holmes going to throw. Slings it out. Incomplete. Boy, he had Contreras with a lot of room out in the flat. Just misfired, and now it's 4th down with 1:52, and you get the sense that they've got to go for it here.
Yeah, you put that on Contreras. May not get there. Yeah, you said going for it, but there's a whole change of personnel coming in here. There's a lot of confusion on that sideline, and Grapevine smartly is going to take a timeout. They're going to have to go for it.
And that special teams unit was racing onto the field, and all of a sudden they put the brakes on. Yeah, your 2 timeouts, essentially, if they gave Wakeland the football back, a 1st down could essentially ice it for the Wolverines. It's not the situation they want, 4th and 8, but you do sense that they've got to go for it.
And even if Contreras doesn't pick up that 1st down, it's probably looking at a 4th and 3, 4th and 2 maybe, and that changes quite a bit. So picking up those 8 yards has been an issue for Grapevine. When they've had success, it's been coming in 4 or 5 yard chunks and then the big play. You need the big play right now.
So this is your ball game. 1:52 to go. 4th down and 8. They'll spread it out here. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Contreras, the running back. 3-man front for the Wolverines.
Looking for a little Mustang magic right here.
Holmes. Long snap count, low snap. Here he is with time, throwing. Pass is caught at the 46. And the catch made by Luke Stewart. It's a Mustangs 1st down, and they're still alive.
Boy, that is a big-time throw from a guy in Holmes that has not been asked to do that a ton. Outstanding catch by Stewart to stay in bounds. Game's not done yet.
It's at the 47. I think I may have said the 41. It's the 47 with 1:30 and 1 timeout to work with. 2 backs in the backfield. Down 14-10. Again, the play clock this time at 12. Holmes on the give. Not much there for Sanchez. Now they got to hurry.
You got to get going now. 70 seconds left in the ball game.
2nd down and 9. 1:05 to go. Break that huddle very quick now. 4 receivers. Contreras, the running back. Less than a minute to play. Wolverines rush 3. Holmes throws high and incomplete. I'll rush that one. Now it's a 3rd down and 9.
And right now it's a numbers game, and the offense is 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, and the math just doesn't work out at this point. You got to have a big play pop. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily throw it deep down the field. Your biggest plays have come on the ground if you're Grapevine, but you've got to have that big play with only 49 seconds left.
3rd down and 9. Again, 4 wides. Contreras, the running back.
Crowd really started to get into it for one of the first times.
3rd and 9. Holmes, long count. Going to throw. Here comes the pressure. Got rid of it. 4th down coming up. Tried to dump that off to Contreras. They may send the house again on this one. 4th and 9.
And Holmes lucky just to get rid of the football. There was a receiver in the vicinity clearly, so no threat of intentional grounding. But for the 2nd time in this series, you have got to come up with a 4th down conversion to keep this ball game going.
Grapevine has 1 timeout left. Have to move the chains here to stay alive. Turnover on downs, and that would be your ball game.
He ran the quick out to pick up about 8 yards on 4th down last time.
That's Boozer getting set on 4th and 9. Play clock's at 2. They got to hurry. They got it off with 1 second. Pressure from the backside. Holmes is sacked. Lost the football. And Wakeland somehow is going to survive. What a valiant effort by Grapevine, but that drive stalls out, and a turnover on downs, and the Wolverines now can run out the clock.
Well, the offensive line had really done a solid job protecting Holmes all night. And when everybody knows you're passing, it's easy sometimes to tee off and just have your best pass rushers do just that. And Holmes not able to get rid of the football. It's going to be a hard-fought Week 1 loss here for Grapevine.
The second straight year that Grapevine has lost their opener to Wakeland. But tonight, even despite this loss, as Wakeland will take a knee here, they'll get into the safety formation, take a knee, and that'll be the ball game. But I know it goes down as a loss, but Bob DeBess and his staff have got a lot to be proud of and a lot to build around tonight. Both sides of the football, we saw a lot of promising signs as the clock ticks down. Final seconds. Grapevine will lose, but a lot to be proud of.
I think what you hang your hat on looking the rest of the way is this defense has the makings of one that can be really special. And you got a quarterback who ran the option offense well, going to continue to get better, and Grapevine a solid showing here against Wakeland.
Yeah, 14-10. Grapevine falls in the season opener here at Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas. I want to tell you, Grapevine returns to action next Friday when they are at Mustang Panther Stadium for their home opener against the Birdville Hawks. We'll be on the air 6:30, and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. So until then, from our broadcast partner, Brendan Smith, our statistician, Mason Mears, and for our entire crew, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe saying good night and God bless from Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco. This has been a presentation of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.